All right, here we go. It's our predictions for the NBA awards. Kwab, let's start with Coach of the Year. This is a very low stakes one. You don't want to, swing for the fences on the first award. Coach of the Year. Who do you got?
Who do I have?
Who do you have? I'm asking
Who
you.
do I have for Coach of the Year? I have Jody Fernandez from the Brooklyn Nets as my Coach of the Year.
He's going to do a phenomenal job of tanking. He's going to do the best job that a tanking coach can do.
We're going to be really 100%. Fake competitive, which I love. Like, oh man, we played really hard, but we still lost.
Right.
That's no.
Play Ben Simmons just enough so you could trade him at the deadline for more picks.
Please.
Yep.
Please.
Yep.
Please. Yeah, that would be perfect. That would be perfect. That's my fake coach of the year. My dark horse coach of the year, which I'm randomly coming up with now, is Greg Popovich.
Oh, wow.
I feel like the Spurs should be competitive this year. We didn't have them. We did a power rankings that we didn't have them in our top 10, but we feel like with all the moves they made, they should be competitive this year. So there's a possibility the Spurs could sneak in there, and then people will be talking about, hey, look at Greg. Greg got the sauce back. So
I love
that's
it. That's
my dark horse. My dark horse pick of the year for Coach of the Year.
I love it. My Coach of the Year is Taylor Jenkins of the Memphis Grizzlies. I think it's funny because everyone's like, y'all must have forgot about the Memphis Grizzlies, but everybody's saying y'all must have forgot about the Memphis Grizzlies, which means nobody has forgotten about the Memphis Grizzlies. But it still doesn't take away from the fact that the Memphis Grizzlies, I think, are going to be pretty freaking good. I think when healthy, they're one of the best teams in the West. I think they're going to surprise a lot of people. So because of the year they had last year, because of the vast improvements they're probably going to have in their record and the narrative behind here, the Grizzlies are back. Y'all must have forgot. I do think the narrative will be there. I think the win total will be there. I think the playoff seeding will be there. And I'm comfortable to say that Taylor Jenkins will be Coach of the Year. And I hit this last year too. This is one of them.
Yeah, you did. Do you have a dark horse pick for your Coach of the Year?
No, I don't have a dark horse pick for that. Dark horse pick, Ime Udoka. How about that?
Very nice. Very nice. I like that. I like that one. Yep.
All right, here we go. Most improved player. I'll go first. I'm going to take Jonathan Kuminga here. I think the most improved player is really just annoying to me. The favorite right now to win is Jalen Williams of the OKC Thunder, who averaged 19 points per game last year. And it's like, how could you say that someone who averages 19 points per game, even if he takes a step forward this year and let's just say hypothetically averages 23, 24, did you improve more than somebody who had a lesser role and took a step forward into something else? Maybe someone who averaged 5 points per game now averages 17, 18 points per game. It's a ridiculous award. Even the person who I'm about to say probably won't be the most improved, but might have the narrative behind him. And that's Jonathan Kuminga, because I do think that if the Warriors are going to be as good as Warrior fans want them to be, Jonathan Kuminga is going to have to be, somebody who scores the basketball, who does a lot of different things for the Golden State Warriors. And I think he's capable of it. I just think Steve Kerr has to put him in position to do so. I think he can have the numbers. I think he could have the hype. I think he could have the media behind him. He's not the favorite to win it, but he's my pick. Kwab, what do you have?
I like that pick. That's a very nice pick. I was struggling to come up with somebody for this pick just because every year with this award, they end up giving it to somebody that's like a former number 2 or number 1 pick. They're like, oh, he improved. They're like, well, he was supposed to. He's the reason why he got picked high. John Moran shouldn't get the most improved player. He's a star.
Right.
That was
Tyrese Maxey shouldn't have gotten it either. It's a ridiculous award. It's like we knew you were nice, but now you're kind of more nice than you were before nice. Like
it was a natural progression. We this was supposed to happen,
right?
Like
it's not like you came out of nowhere, bro.
Exactly. So that's always it's a tough choice. I went back and decided to pick Jalen Johnson from the Atlanta Hawks. He probably would have won the award last year if he didn't get injured, and I feel like he's one of the players in the offseason you heard like the Hawks were like he's untouchable. So they have a lot of faith in him, and they're going to be starting him. He's probably going to end up putting up numbers, so he has a chance of winning the award.
I like that. I love that pick. I think it's a great pick if he stays healthy for sure.
Yep.
All right, moving on to Defensive Player of the Year. This will take 5 seconds. It's Victor Wembanyama.
Rudy Gobert. Victor. Yeah, I'm sorry.
I think Victor Wembanyama is going to win the next 15 Defensive Players of the Year. And that's not even a hot take because I know I'm not the first person to say that. I've seen that on Twitter. I'm sure other podcasters have said that. I think this starts the Victor Wembanyama for Defensive Player of the Year train for the next 10 years.
Yeah,
Easy.
agree. The
All right. Moving on, Clutch Player of the Year. Kwab, I'll let you go first. Who do you have?
I I was not sure who to pick for this. Just trying to rack my mind. I might go with DeMar DeRozan.
Mhm.
He always puts up good clutch numbers, but making the move to Sacramento is going to be an adjustment, and I feel like that's one reason they brought him there was in order to bring fourth quarter scoring at the end of games when games are close. So yeah, that's my pick for clutch player of the year.
Your pick.
My pick.
I
I
love
don't. The amount of faith I have in it, it's like that's my pick for clutch player.
it. My pick for Clutch Player of the Year is Luka Doncic. He's always been clutch. Luka is one of the most clutch players in the league. There are very few people I would rather have basketball at the end of the game than Luka Doncic. He's always due for a buzzer beater or two a year. He's always
Yeah.
due to break your back. You saw what he did to Minnesota last year. He's always been a clutch player since he's been in this league. And I just so happen to think the Mavs are going to be in a lot of high profile, high stake games where he comes up big. Mavs are going to have a high win total. And even though Kyrie's in the same backcourt and maybe Kyrie hits some clutch shots too, I think Luka's going to get most of the credit. And I just have a theory that the NBA is just itching to give him awards anyway.
Fair,
So
fair.
not that he doesn't deserve it, but to me, I got Luka. Let's move on to the rookie of the year, Kwab. This is an interesting rookie class to kind of dissect. Who do you have?
Um, I think it might be Zach Edey from the Grizzlies because looking at some of these rosters, he seems to be the only, if not, there might be another one, but like the only rookie that's going to be starting for their team, and he plays a position where his team needs their need of size in the center,
Yeah.
so that's why he starts and has a point guard that's a willing passer. Uh, their games during the preseason where he was featured, they throw him the ball in the post like
He was
he's
working. I mean, he was going to work, bro.
he's going to
Yeah.
work. I mean, so and again, he's a big guy, like in terms of being able to grab rebounds and just be a force in the interior. I feel like he might put up enough numbers to be considered rookie of the year. Again, like you said, it's a weird rookie class. We're talking about this might be one of the few times where nobody's talking about the number one pick or the number two pick, like of
Right.
the of the rookie class.
No
It's
one,
just
I don't think any, honestly, I think the casual NBA fan didn't even know who the number one pick was before, like on draft night.
yeah,
Even
it's a
even Alex Sarr, who was supposed to be the number one pick up until like the last week, and no one really knew much about him. So
yeah, fair, yeah, that's
yeah,
true.
you're right. It's a weird year.
It's a weird year.
Yeah.
Who do you have for the rookie of the year?
I'm going with Reed Shepherd of the Houston Rockets just
Okay,
because he's been the best rookie to me that I've seen eye test wise.
yeah,
I think he's the future for the Houston Rockets. Not the future as in like he's the man they're going to go to for everything, but I do think he is part of the future. He's a cornerstone piece for the Houston Rockets. I think he's very good. He's very talented. He can pretty much fit in and play any role for that team right now that, his height allows him to. Obviously, he can play center. But yeah, I just love what I've seen from him. He's fitting in very well. He's just a very good basketball player. And like you said, with a lot of rookies not really in a position to put up a lot of numbers outside of people who might be on the Washington Wizards. Yeah, I'm comfortable with Reed. He's the best rookie that I've seen so far.
true.
All right. And last but not least, MVP. I will go first. My MVP for the 2024-25 season is going to be Shai Gilgeous-Alexander of the Oklahoma City Thunder. I think this is probably a very popular pick. If you just do the logic, the Thunder, a lot of people are picking them to be first seed, just like they were last year. He was an MVP candidate last year. You have the narrative of, oh, here come the Thunder championship team. And a lot of times people just resort to, well, who's the best player on the best team? And that could may well be SGA. I think he's going to have another phenomenal year. I think he's going to be in there again for clutch player of the year, just like he was last year. I think the narrative is there. I think he's going into his prime. Everything just feels right. Going SGA. Wow, what do you
Uh-huh.
think?
I also had SGA. Agree with
Oh, okay.
everything you said. Yeah. I the MVP award. Actually, a lot of these awards here are narrative award. So like he had a chance to win it last year. He had the numbers. His team was number one in the West. Like
Yeah.
again, I could see him winning it. My dark horse pick, because I couldn't really decide, but my dark horse pick for the MVP is Jalen Brunson. That made me sick to say. Just
Yeah.
cause it's just so much Knicks. Should have been
Yeah.
Knicks, yeah. They made moves. They're gonna do
Like,
this.
if they
Knicks.
get the 1 seed over Boston because Boston wants to rest people or whatnot.
But yeah, like even if they
Yeah.
get if they get the 2 seed, I feel like there'll be a push for like because he played phenomenal last year.
Yeah.
He had a great season last year, and the team again, like we said, the team has made moves in order to improve. So if he puts up the numbers, and the Knicks are a high seed, he could factor into the MVP award.